Welcome back. Today we're going to be creating a counter that counts up and down and can be reset using the common UI button interaction components. This is a request from a user who wanted to see a more cohesive, defined example of where you might use these components to build something concrete. I do have a video on each of them where I cover them individually, but this one puts a lot of them together with a lot of other components to create, a defined objective that you might want to use, and also shows you how to think about using them when you're creating something. Let's hop over here into Smooth POV. And we can see here we've got a numeric value of 0, and I can hit plus to increase the value, minus to decrease the value, and R to reset the value back down to 0. That's what we're going to build. I have seen this being used in a educational interaction I did, where students had to sort of count the amount of wildlife in a particular area to provide a lesson on pollution and climate change. And this could also be used as sort of a counter for the number of people in a world, or in a particular area of the world. The thumb counters that bouncers use to count the number of people into a nightclub came to mind here. Let's go ahead and build this from scratch. So I'm going to move to the left here and get going. First thing we're going to need is a piece of text which will render our number. So we're going to go ahead and go to Create New Text, Basic. Put this in the world wherever you'd like. Select it with the Developer Tooltip. Hit Open Inspector. Here we're going to go ahead and hit up on the up arrow, which will create a basic parent above it. This will be the root of our counter here, so we're going to go ahead and rename this to counter. With this named as counter, I'm going to go ahead and add our count value to it. So we'll go to Data, Value Field, and select Value Field Int. We'll just be doing ints today. If you want to do floats, that's up to you, but we won't be covering them. With that done, I'm going to go ahead and grab Basic and bring it to the left by hitting trigger, and that gets us a second copy of the inspector. The reason behind that is we're going to keep referring to this value in various components, so I want it to easy access. I'm going to remove the grabbable on this piece of text because we won't want to remove that again via that piece of text. I'm going to go to Attach Component, Utility, Value Text Format Driver, Value Text Format Driver, Int. And I've just got to set things up. So if I grab a value from the value field and drop it into source, grab text from the text property here and drop it into text. Change the format so that it is open curly brace 0 close curly brace. You'll see that the number 0 appears. If I change this to 202, you'll see we get 202 in that piece of text. So that's the text setup. Let's now do our buttons. So we don't need the basic anymore, but we'll leave it here. Actually, we won't because we need the buttons here, so we can close that. Go to Create New Object Button, which is inside neosui button. There it is. Haven't used these in a little bit. I'm going to position this roughly, but we'll be able to edit it in a moment. I'm going to go ahead and open the inspector. I'm going to parent it to the counter, and then I'm going to go ahead and remove the grabbable because I won't need it. Shrink its width down to something like 0.1. That looks good. I'm going to go into the button's text and change it to a plus symbol. And then we're going to go back to the root of the button here, scroll down to the bottom, and go to Attach Component, Common UI, Button Interactions, and then we want Button Value Shift. We want Button Value Shift Int. Set the delta here to 1, and what that means is it's going to add 1 to the value. Drag the value from the value field, and drop it in there, and you'll see we've now got something that can increase it. For decrease, what we're going to do is go up to the counter here and we'll duplicate our button. We'll select the duplicate, we'll move it to the left here. So there's enough room in the middle. We'll go down into our button's text property and we'll change that to minus. We'll go up to the button here. We'll change that to -1. And now you can see that we can go up and down. One remaining thing is the reset, so I'm going to go ahead and duplicate the button, select the duplicate, move it into the middle, go into the text, change this to R, go up to the button top here, delete button value shift, attach component, common UI, button interactions, button value set int, grab value, drop it into target value, and then leave the set value as 0. Let's now reset it to 0. Last thing to do here is go up to the top where it says counter, attach component, transform interaction grabbable, and then we can close all of our inspectors. de-equip our tool, because we've got our counter. You might want to reposition things, tidy it up, maybe use UX. Link in the video description to my UX tutorial series, but it works. We can go up, we can go down, and we can reset back to 0. Up, down, reset. Perfectly functional, and uses a bunch of components together to make a defined objective. I'll see you in the next one. If you have any comments about this one, leave it in the comments section, and check the video description for links to other videos. Bye-bye.